Nice. We are live.
Hi guys, good evening.
Welcome.
My name is Gabriel. I'm from Birmingham in the UK.
And I'm Emily from Cambridge in the UK. And we want to know about you. Who are you? Where are you? And how are you? How are you, Gabe?
I'm good. I'm very much looking forward to the evening.
Yeah.
Not that I have grand plans, but purely the evening, I think. Looking forward to relaxing. How are you?
Yeah,
Emily?
I'm fine. Also looking forward to the evening. I have grand plans involving a ukulele.
Involving a ukulele. Where will you be playing said ukulele?
Sorry?
And where and what will you be playing on the ukulele?
I have a grand total at the moment. I think I have 4 songs that I can play. Any song which involves the chords C, G, A minor, F, and then I branched out into E minor to be able to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
So I will be playing a lot of that song.
Nice.
Yeah. We have 1 student.
F's quite hard.
Not on a ukulele.
Not on a ukulele. I suppose there's only 4 strings in there. So. Okay.
And they're not in the same order as
they're not the same. No, that's true. Okay. Yeah. F is the really vicious one on the guitar for beginners.
Is it?
You have to, but it's the one with the whole bar down on the string.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Max, hi. How are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you, Max?
Well, while Max is hopefully answering us, in this focus activity, we have impersonal you, simple modal verbs, and giving advice. Max is fine.
Good. Excellent.
I'm very
well, thank you, Max. Good.
I'm a bit hungry right now. I'm looking forward to dinner.
Nice. Okay, so we have a quiz to start. So, true or false? Just you at the moment, Max.
Yep.
Oh no, we have somebody else as well. So, decide if the following are true or false. London has more international tourists than any other city in the world. True or false?
This is our last lesson today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We always finish at 9. But yeah, we don't have to work until 10. Yeah, Gabe and I know the answers to these. We know which ones are true and which are false. True, Max says.
True.
Good.
Yeah,
Next
absolutely.
one. New York has more skyscrapers than Hong Kong. True or false? They both have a lot of skyscrapers.
Mm.
I think probably New York has the most iconic skyscrapers, but does it have more in number?
False.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot on. Absolutely correct.
Hong Kong has an enormous number of skyscrapers, and New York has a lot, but Hong Kong is just a forest.
Mm. A Frenchman built the Statue of Liberty.
Mm. Very unexpected, if it's true. Do you know when the Statue of Liberty was built?
Late 19th, early 20th century? I don't know.
Max says false.
False.
Careful with your spelling, Max. It's with an A. F-A.
Yeah. Even though we pronounce it false.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
English pronunciation is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually true.
Hmm.
It was a present. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to the USA. Yeah, don't apologize. That's no problem. And
1886, I think.
Which?
1886.
That's, I would have guessed later. That's the US. Then the United States then wanted to give France a present in return, and they just gave France a much smaller version of the same statue, which might be the worst present ever. It's so unimaginative, and it wasn't even of the same size. It was just a tiny version of the same thing, which you can see in Paris. It is on display in Paris. Anyway.
And finally, we can see the Great Wall of China from the moon.
What do you think, Max? The moon is a pretty long way away. You've disappeared. Oh no, you're back. I hope Max is writing to us. Did he already answer? So maybe when he said false, maybe he meant for number 4. I don't know.
I feel like that was a correction of the spelling.
Yeah, that's what I thought at the time. Yeah. Okay. Max says true for the last one. Actually, though, it's false. You go.
You go. No, that's fine.
I was just going to reiterate, the moon is very distant from Earth. I think even from space, from the International Space Station, you cannot see the Great Wall of China. It's very long, but it's narrow. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of mass. You know what I mean? It has quite.
Yeah, I do. I'm enjoying watching you explain it.
It's thin.
It's that fact is one of those urban myths, is what we call it. Something that's said to be true, and everybody's heard it, but is in fact false. We call them urban myths.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same in Italian, perhaps.
There are some man-made things that we can see from space. You can see things like canals. The Panama Canal you can see from space. I remember I heard an astronaut once talking about it, and he said, you can't see the Great Wall of China, but there are quite a few man-made things that you can see.
A canal is significantly wider, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
And the Panama Canal is a huge complex, isn't it? Yeah, that makes sense.
There are some, and reservoirs, there are some huge reservoirs that you can see from space as well. Okay. Read the dialogue. And so Gabe and I will read. While we read, Max, can you find the verbs that Josh and Jenny use to give advice? Verbs to introduce advice.
Okay, so I'll take Josh, if you like, and you can take Jenny. So I'm going to London next weekend. Can you give me some advice on what to see there?
Yes, I was there last year. You must see Big Ben. It's really impressive. You should also visit St. Paul's Cathedral.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Oh, and if you like modern art, you can go to the Tate Modern.
Thanks. Anything else I need to know about London?
Yes. You must remember that people drive on the left in England. I actually introduced this a little wrong. I forgot that we had these questions.
That's fine. And we can be thinking ahead, I guess. So, what in the dialogue, Max, should Josh see in London? What should Josh see in London?
And just while we're waiting for answers, I'll give you my piece of trivia, general knowledge about Big Ben, is that Big Ben is not the name of the clock. It's not the name of the tower. It is the name of the bell inside the tower. So the bell is the big metal thing that makes a noise. Dong, dong, dong is the bell. Big Ben is the name of the bell. And the tower, I guess, is Westminster Tower, I think is it, the name of the tower.
What should Josh see in London?
Do you like Westminster Palace and Big Ben, Westminster Tower, aesthetically?
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
It's such a weird question in a way, isn't it? I don't think I've often thought aesthetically about the actual building, because it's the image and how the icon is much larger in a way than the building itself.
It's almost beyond opinions. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just the icon is so much larger than.
It's almost the vertical. There are so many vertical lines that it just annoys me a little bit. But so Max has said
it's like kind of yeah.
Sorry, I introduced that, but that's quite a big topic. Big Ben, definitely. You must see Big Ben. What else? Not only Big Ben. I can see 3 recommendations. I don't know what maybe that was an emoji.
I quite like, in terms of a similar style, I quite like the St. Pancras building.
Yeah.
In that it's a kind of Gothic revival style, but it's less. It's just less. It's less. I think is the easiest way to say it. It's less dramatic, and I think it's more subtle.
Yeah.
And I like the St. Pancras building. I think it's a lovely building.
I think it's lovely too. Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of Victorian Gothic. I just think Westminster Palace is just so, the vertical lines are so strong, and there's just not enough balance.
I see where you're coming from in that. That's absolutely right. I agree to a large extent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Max, maybe you are giving us your recommendations. We want from the text, what are the recommendations in the conversation, in the dialogue? So we had Big Ben.
So Big Ben is one, definitely. What else in the text? Another one that Jenny says. Go on.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe when Max said London Station, he might have meant St. Pancras.
He might have meant St. Pancras, yeah. St. Pancras is a fantastic building, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you visited via train, you will have gone through it.
What do you think of the new King's Cross building?
It's okay. It's okay. I think it pairs quite well in a way with St. Pancras.
Yeah.
In that there's a kind of more modern kind of curvature to the angled sides, the kind of strict angular architecture of St. Pancras. I like the development that's going on in that area. There's a lot of nice development that they're doing up by the canals there.
Yeah.
They've also got a really wicked German pub. I don't know if you've been to it.
it's called the no, I haven't been, but I know what you mean. Is it called the gym or the
German? Yeah, it's the gymnasium, I think, or something.
Yeah. I haven't been in.
Quite nice.
Well, maybe we should put these answers up, because it might be that Max isn't totally clear on what we're doing. So
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another phrase of advice that Josh should see, that Jenny says, is St. Paul's Cathedral. You should also visit St. Paul's Cathedral. Yeah.
And then there's one final. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. What should Josh do? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, Max, another question from the dialogue. What does Josh need to be careful about when he's in London?
Yeah. So I think the important thing is that we just want to talk about this dialogue, this conversation. So according to Josh and Jenny, and then we've got here, what does Josh need to be careful about? What does be careful mean, Gabe? You can do the
to be, I'm sorry, I'm thinking only in terms of phrasal verbs here. What does he need to be vigilant of?
Yeah.
Is that an Italianism that works?
Maybe. Pay attention, usually.
To pay attention, that's another phrasal verb. To watch out for. A lot of phrasal verbs here.
Yeah, but I think attention is something that they recognize.
That's true. Yeah. To pay attention to.
Yeah. So what does Jenny say to Josh that Josh should be careful about, should pay attention to in London? Something that it's a possible problem. Okay, perfect.
Remember that people drive on the left. Absolutely. Excellent.
Good. Okay. What verbs does Jenny use to give advice? So if we think of all of these different factors, see Big Ben, visit St. Paul's Cathedral, take modern, drive on the left, what verbs does Jenny use to introduce the advice, to present the advice? What do you think next? There are 1, 2, 3 different verbs. And with some repetition, but 3 different verbs.
Yeah.
So I would say, oh no, that's the answer. Yeah, sorry. I was about to start. It doesn't matter. I got confused.
Okay.
So, yeah. Remember and drive these are the advice. So remember that people drive on the left. This is the advice, absolutely. How does Jenny present the advice? What verb? So if we take particularly this sentence, what verb presents the advice? Okay. So what we're getting at is we have these verbs here. So for your example that you gave, you must remember that people drive on the left. You must see Big Ben. You should visit St. Paul's Cathedral.
So yeah, the remember and drive, like you gave us, are the verb. Yes, they are the advice, effectively. But to give the advice, you need the extra verb must. That's the carrier of the advice. That is the physical way of giving the advice. You must and you should also. If we go on to the next slide, there's a whole bit about these modals. Yeah. So these modals, you must and you should, that we've just looked at, these types of verbs are called modals, called helping verbs. They give more information about the main verb in a sentence. Yeah. So you must, being the helping verb, remember and drive in that last example, they are the information. They are the main verbs in that sentence. Yeah. So if we start with should and must, I think you should is used to give advice. You should visit St. Paul's Cathedral, and must is used to give strong advice. You must see Big Ben.
Yeah.
Those are two advisory modals.
Yeah, must is even, we could even say an obligation.
Very strong.
Yeah. And then we also have can or can't, used to talk about ability. Can you drive? And we have could. A polite way to ask or suggest something. You could rent a car. So these are all modals that we could use to make suggestions and give advice.
Yeah. Yeah. And they, as is in the example, you put them next to the bare infinitive form of the main verb. So they always need that main verb in the sentence, in which the main verb is in the infinitive. Yeah. You could rent, you should visit, you can drive, you must see. It always has that bare infinitive. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here we are practicing with this modal verb can. So we're talking about ability. What is possible? What activities? So Max, you are from Modena. What can you do in Modena? What can't you do in Modena? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So we've got the affirmative and the negative. What can you do in Modena? What can't you do? I'm from Cambridge, so to give you an advice for my hometown, in Cambridge, you can learn about the history, intellectual history, because it's a very old city, and there are a lot of interesting buildings and museums. But in Cambridge, you can't go skiing, or you can't visit the beach, and you can't. Well, you can go dancing in the evening, but you can't. You can't dance in any really good clubs. The nightlife is a little dry.
I'm from Birmingham. That's my hometown, home city.
So maybe Max is thinking, at the moment.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. At the moment, you can only stay at home.
Yeah.
Do you want to cover that?
Say you can only stay, which means
rest or kind of stay. Okay.
Yeah.
In this moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's a good
Max. That's a good point, yeah. Max, normally, not in this moment, normally, what can you do in Modena when there's no quarantine? What can you do in Modena? In Birmingham, you can eat excellent food, especially types of Indian, Pakistani, and Middle Eastern food is fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Excellent. Yeah, so I can. You've used the modal verb perfectly there to talk about ability. You only need this main verb as well in your sentence. So can is the modal, is the auxiliary, the helper, expressing what you can do. The main verb, we might say, I can go
Yeah.
to the centre of the city.
Or I can visit the centre of the city.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All of these modal verbs, they need another, they always need a second verb. So here we've got you should visit, you could rent, you must see, and then interrogative, can you drive? You're so close to visiting, but like Gabe said before, we need what we call the bare infinitive, which means this form, just visit. You should visit, or you can visit. Another example, Matt.
Too complicated.
Mm.
That sounds quite complicated.
Yeah, I usually say principal verb because they know what that means.
Principal verb, yeah, that's true. Can you edit things? Oh no, I can put as in time out.
Huh?
I can put as in time out, but I can't edit it. If you press the dots, you can. Yeah, the modal verb plus the primary verb. But it's I can visit the centre of the city is exactly.
Okay, this is great.
Excellent. I can't go in the sea. Perfect.
Perfect, yeah. Max, more examples. In Modena, what else can you do? So we can visit the centre of the city. You can't go in the sea. More information. Let's practice this structure.
None of us can go in the sea in our hometowns.
Yeah. Yeah. Cambridge is not on the coast, nor Birmingham. Although Gabe and I live in Rome, and in Rome we can go to the beach at Ostia, usually. Okay, that's interesting. Max, we're probably, so now you've used two verbs. We would say, I can go to the military academy, or I can visit the military academy. So can plus one verb. More examples. Exactly. Or go or visit. Yeah. I'm going to write some examples for Cambridge.
Yeah.
Um,
You can't eat a really good pizza.
Ferrari Museum.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know a Ferrari museum exists. Right. Okay. Another good example. I can go. What about one more negative, Max? Oh.
Excellent.
But Malmo doesn't have an airport. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Good. That was a good practice. So it seems like you've got the hang of that. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just practice with the other modal verbs as well.
Just do. I'm thinking so as well. Yeah. Just something like should.
Yeah. So, Max, let's imagine that Gabe and I are tourists in Italy. In a sense, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some advice. So now we can use all of the different modal verbs. If it is something very strong, something very important, you can use must. If it's something that is medium, that's a good idea, but not an obligation, should. And then something else we could say can or could. These both are fine. Maybe could for suggestions. So examples using these other.
Yeah.
Modal.
Just as you have done with can, exactly like that. But now we're looking at advisory modal verbs.
Yeah, in all Italy.
Yeah. For example, Emily.
Made a banner.
Oh no, go away. Emily, you should visit my keyboard's broken.
Well, I'll give you some advice.
You should visit the Duomo in Florence.
Good advice. Actually, I have already visited the Duomo. It's very beautiful.
Is it good advice then?
It's very good advice. Yeah.
Excellent.
I
liked the outside more than the inside, which is not to take away anything from the inside, but I thought the outside was even more impressive. I was slightly disappointed on the inside.
I'm gonna theme my advice to you on the same idea. You should see the outside of Palermo Cathedral. But you shouldn't go inside because it is less beautiful.
Must see the outside of Palermo Cathedral, but you shouldn't go inside because it is less beautiful. Fantastic.
And it's a really big contrast. The outside of Palermo Cathedral is amazing. And the inside is very
disappointing, is it? Okay. I would love to visit Palermo. It's still on my list of places to see in Italy, Sicily.
I can't wait to go back. It's such a good place for a holiday. I don't know if Max is writing to us. I'll put this up. I'll put these up for posterity.
Yeah.
So that later students can see.
That's a good point, yeah.
Well.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
You should visit the Duomo in Modena. Perfect. Ooh. Excellent.
Really good sentence.
Absolutely spot on, Max, yeah.
Okay. Well, perfect timing then.
Yeah.
We have to finish. It is 10 to 9.
Yeah.
I must have my dinner.
And I must have a shower.
TMI.
Yep. But really good. Yeah. Well done with the modals there, Max. Some good examples, particularly at the end.
Yeah, well good progress, I think.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have a nice evening. And maybe see you again.
Bye.
Bye.